Hello, this is Kathy. How are you? This is my very first Periscope that I'm actually showing my face and talking. Hold on one second, I just want to fix it. Oh, hello, my name's Kathy Weller. If you don't know me, I'm an artist. I specifically do hand lettering, and I also do a comic called Cats at Work. A lot of my work it's very inspirational, but kind of like snarky self-help. I do a lot of quotes. And anyway, check me out on the web, but this is like my first Periscope that I've actually shown my face, so I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm going to get used to it. Hey, Mandy, how are you? This is my first one. I'm kind of like doing a dry run. Anyway, okay. I'm going to collect myself and get my butterflies under control because this is kind of like nerve-wracking, but I'm going to get used to this. So basically, I just wanted to say hi. Oh, you are so sweet. Thank you. Can't do it wrong. I know. It's unless I'm like blushing terribly right now, but anyway, I just wanted to enter the Periscope universe because it's totally awesome. And the first few times that I Periscoped, I basically just like put the camera on my sketchbook and drew. So that was actually really fun, but you know, I need to like talk to you guys. So I'm actually going to start to be doing some actual Periscopes, showing my face and talking to you guys about different topics that good for me. And hi, thank you, Devin. How are you? It's nice to see you. Yeah, this is like a whole new world to me. So basically I have a lot to say about creativity and ideas and about how to feel more creative and just inspire yourself to be more creative, because I think a lot of us get very stuck in our day-to-day and just don't really know where to begin after a while. And then, you know, you're on the internet all the time and you see a lot of thank you, Rivers. You see a lot of people doing this and that, and everybody looks, everything's so shiny and clean on the web. And, you know, people can really take their time and produce themselves, you know, and like design how they want everything to look. And, you know, that sometimes can sort of dampen down our own ability to kind of put ourselves out there if we're a little shy, or, you know, if you have a little creative bone in your body that you want to cultivate, but, you know, it can be kind of disheartening sometimes to see a lot of other people doing things that you feel like, oh my God, I'm so far behind. So part of what I am interested in doing is helping people to feel more creative and to feel more confident in their creativity, and to, you know, learn how to just like ignore the self-doubt inside. Hey, Rachel. God, can you guys hear how nervous I am? I got to get over this. Okay. I got to get over the nerves. But anyway, I will. I know it's going to be a learning process. So I did have a couple of ideas to just talk about really quickly today about writing down your ideas. Like when you have ideas and they fall out of your head the second you think of something else, and you don't write them down quickly enough. And I think that ideas beget ideas. So the quicker you write stuff down, the better off, the more ideas you get. Oh, thank you. I just missed who that was. But they gave me a really nice compliment. Thanks. Oh, thank you. I know. Can you tell how nervous I am? I'm like, oh my God, this is so scary. Anyway, so, oh, hold on. I wrote a note down. I wrote it on my big block. Okay. So I keep like sticky notes everywhere, and pads of paper and notebooks. And I'm constantly writing stuff down and checking it off and either throwing it away, or sometimes if I do a little sketch, I'll like save it in a box for like a rainy day. So I have a little box full of Cats at Work sketches. And sometimes I'll go through it and I'll, dig through and see like what's good and, what's like a hidden gem that I haven't used yet. Anyway, let me get back on track here. So the topic is collecting your ideas before they fall out of your head. Because I feel like when you have a great idea, even if you're in the shower or someplace where you can't, they usually happen when like it's the most inconvenient time to write it down. So like I think a lot in the shower and I get really good ideas, and then I basically will like continually think of it until I get to my phone so I can type it out in the notes or write it down on a sketchbook or a notebook. I'm really weird, okay? I take a notebook with me almost everywhere. Like if I'm walking around the house, I try and make sure that there's something I can write on to get down an idea, or even if like, I just always have a sketchbook with me, or like a notebook or something I can write. I wish I had my purse up here. I could show you. Sometimes I bring my purse around the house with me, which is, oh, good. I'm so glad I'm not by myself. But it's true. It's like if you don't, and sometimes you don't get the ideas to write down, but as long as you know that like you have the means to do it in a way that you're comfortable, like to get that idea out, like on a piece of paper, and you can draw a little picture and stuff, then it will, it's easier to, you won't like have that remorse if you have a great idea and you forget it. I have taken to, this is crazy, but I actually, like I keep my phone right near my bed when I go to sleep. And oftentimes like I will get ideas in the middle of the night. And I sometimes will sleep with a like sticky pad and a pencil under my pillow, just because I hate to have a great idea and then not write it down and then forget it. Because it usually happens like when you're just too tired to do it. But the thing is, like, I feel like I get my best material when I'm like in that state of half awake, half asleep, whether it's like before I go to sleep at night, because it actually last night it happened a lot. And I started using this app called Evernote. And I know you guys probably all use Evernote, or a lot of people do. And I know it's been around forever, but I never really used it until I took a webinar, and the host of the webinar like used this whole Evernote thing. And I'm like, this is awesome. And it's free. It's great. Like you could write an entire book in Evernote. So, and it might actually help me be more organized, because I do have like several notebooks and sticky notes and everything. And sometimes I have to bring them all together and be like, okay, what's what, like, where am I repeating myself here? But, anyway, so Evernote is the other thing. It's really awesome. I've only scratched the surface of it, but you can have different folders. So, I'm actually talking into my phone right now, so I can't like open my Evernote, but I can have like a folder that says books, and then I can, inside of the folder, I can have different notes. And then, for whatever different books I'm writing or book ideas I have that I want to write blurbs for or something. So, it's really good for, someone who might have a little trouble with like keeping things really organized, because it's simple, but it's effective so far. Yeah. So I think that's it for today. I'm gonna get off this awesome Periscope, and I'm gonna Periscope again on Tuesday. Do the Q&A. I just want to start doing this and see where it takes me. And I want to find out more about what you guys think, what you guys are interested in seeing from me, what kind of content you're interested in me giving you and sharing with you, because there's like a lot. So, and I'm really, really into, like, I just kind of want to cover lots of topics and find out like what you guys are into hearing about. Like, are you into hearing about the creative stuff? Are you into hearing about like the business stuff, or like a combination, or cats at work? Like, how does things work? So I'm like really open to hearing what you guys are interested in hearing from me. I'm thinking about down the road, like doing an e-course, and I was thinking that it would be something like, process, creative process. Kathy, you totally read my mind, because like that's just such a huge thing for me, like trying to help people. And it's kind of funny because I've never been a traditional teacher. Like I have only taught one workshop, bit of everything. Discipline. Oh my gosh, discipline, Kathy. I can talk about discipline because for many, many years I worked a day job, pretty much full time. And actually, I am not working a day job anymore. Now I am full time on my art, which is awesome. But I did, ever since I had my own business, that's what you've been working on this year. You can do it. It takes a lot of discipline. I kind of actually burnt out a little last summer because I did Surtex, the trade show for art and design, for anybody who doesn't know. And I've done it several times, but last year it killed me. Like it was, oh good, Kathy. Yeah, I'll give you tips. I'll give you, today's my creativity. What I need to do too is like organize my thoughts better as they come out of my mouth. So I'm going to be working on that too. That's why I think I should probably like stick to one topic per, Periscope. But today I'm just kind of like, right, spot on the wall. So I've been running myself like crazy for years, doing my own business and also working a day job. I worked 4 days a week. It was like 32 hours a week officially. It felt like more, right? Felt like 40, wasn't 40, but felt like 40. It was still full time. So it was like, 30, 35 hours a week, right? It was regular day job hours, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but I had Mondays off. But it was, the traditional grind, designer grind. I worked as a senior designer and illustrator for a media company, and I did sales and marketing, advertising, design for the web and print, and I had done it for a really long time, and I had also done like my day job, my dream job. I always like to say like dream job and day job because I had this. It's a topic that I know a lot about, and I've basically written enough content on it to fill an e-course, but I haven't done an e-course. That was when I was still working my day job, which I don't have anymore, which is great. But last summer things kind of came to a head. I got really, really sick after Surtex, like physically ill. I got really sick with a parasite. I have no idea where I got it. I don't have it anymore. It's gone. But it was devastating. Like it was really bad. I was really ill. I wasn't in the hospital, thank God, but it really like brought everything to a standstill. And basically every bit of work that I had to do that summer for licensing, like I was treading water. Like I got done. I actually like, I've never really been late for anything. Like I'm on deadlines and stuff, but I had to ask for an extension because I was so sick. I could do like the bare minimum, and I got stuff done, and that was great. But it was awful. But oh yeah, it was awful. It was awful, Carol. But I did get better. I'm better now, and thank God. Lots of probiotics. Okay. Yeah, probiotics. Huge. And I also bought like a water filter for my house, like the whole 9 yards. That's how bad it was, but, or how serious I had to take it. Yeah, it was really, it's like, I don't know where I got it. The only place I can trace back is, I usually don't do this, but this past Surtex in 2015, I drank out of the water fountain. Like I would fill my water bottle up. And, but that makes no sense. I think my resistance was just really low. And I think these things just kind of like are around sometimes. And if your resistance is really low, then you might just pick something up. So that's what I think probably happened to me. But anyway, it was really a wake up call. And actually Oh, and then in October, I was speaking at this. Thank you, Devin. Thank you very much. I'm glad I'm better too. Really glad I'm better. Oh my God. In October, I had agreed in like May to do this. Hi, Anne, how are you? I had agreed on, hi, I'm just, kind of rambling right now, but just talking about last year. Yeah, health is wealth, right? I have one, actually, that's like a mug I want to do, but it's not quite snarky enough. It's like so earnest, but it's true. It's like, it really is true. So, last May, and this is like before I got ill, I had agreed to, I had been asked and like, what? And agreed to do a speaking engagement at a, design conference and also do a workshop. And that blew me away because it was something I always wanted to do, but I'd never done it. I'd never pitched the idea at any design conference or anything because I'm chicken. I'm so chicken about speaking in public. And that's like why I've never pitched myself for any kind of like panels or anything, because like, yeah, I got it all up here and I kind of like, I'm emotive and like probably, interesting, if nothing else, I'm interesting to like entertaining. You're not going to fall asleep, but yeah, like it's scary, right? So there's 303, I agreed to do it. And I just felt like, cause I feel like I have so much to give, but I just like, I can't find my lane yet. Like I haven't found my way to do it. Like I haven't found my avenue. And, that's like one of the reasons why I want to try, like video and e-courses and stuff, because, that might be like a really good way. That might like be the clicking point for me. I'm not sure. Periscope. Yes. You're so good on Periscope, Anne. I want your Periscopes. Socks. I love the socks. So anyway, so I did, it was called you're welcome. Oh, thanks, Carol. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It's weird. I work in a vacuum. So that's another reason why it's really great to reach out to people. And I just want to know like what kind of things what kind of content you want from me, because now for so long, I was so closed off to doing, e-courses or webinars and stuff like where I would be interactive with people. I don't know why, because I'm like an extrovert introvert, I guess. That's like what I call myself. But, because obviously I'm chatting, I love to talk, but on the flip side, like I get crazy nervous, like I did in the first 5 minutes of this Periscope. So there's the design conference I was doing. I'm going to just like try and finish my story and then you guys can go, and then I'll hang up. But, so this is all like, I agreed to do it before I got sick. And then, so most of my summer and early fall was spent, really, totally trying to focus on, yeah, Carol, it's like, you just got to get over it, like, or I'm talking, you got to get over it. We all have to just get over it because it's like video's not going anywhere. And if you're a sharer, it's like, suck it up and get in front of the damn camera because like, it's just like, just got to do it. And that's fine. I mean, I'm a little more warmed up now, but, it's scary when you're like in person. So anyway, let me get back to my story. So I worked with a speaking coach and it was hard because I was like sick all summer. So it was like, I would cancel appointments or change appointments. So I didn't really feel like I wasn't as like able to be as focused on it as I would have liked to have been, but I did get through it and I did a good job. I learned a lot about myself because I did tons and tons and tons of research and work and writing. I wrote about every subject that like means something to me. And a lot of the writing I did, in fact, my whole first speech, which I scrapped, was all about working a day job while you're doing your dream job at night and like the challenges of that and the benefits of that, because I don't think people talk about the benefits enough, which that's information that I do want to share. It's really in depth, actually. I did a lot of writing on it. And after I wrote it all, I'm like, first of all, my head's going to explode. Second of all, like, I have like so much material here. I could write a book about this, you know, and like life experience about it, because like I'm living this stuff like day in and day out. It was hard though, because I had some conflicting feelings about it, because it's not like, it wasn't like by choice. And I think I will, I need to like formulate what, how and what, and what's going to happen with it. But I have the information, like I have all the content, and I have my avenue, and I'm working towards how I'm going to funnel that into some sort of content, but I will. My conflict during this time, this is in the fall when I was writing it. Yeah, you know, and not enough people talk about like the good things about it, and I have a lot of that, but I also like, I was conflicted in myself because I didn't want to work. Like I was running myself into the ground so bad. Like I had been doing it for years. I mean, I do all these shows, juggle my schedule, in terms of like days off that I would need, get my licensing work done, pitch myself like to everybody, you know, to like, obviously like somewhat strategically, right? I wasn't just like throwing stuff, but, you know, figuring out like who you are as an artist, as a licenser, whatever you are. Cause in the beginning of when you're starting to do it, you're like, what part of the market do I even fit into? Like, I don't even know. That's a whole other Periscope we can talk about later. But anyway, so I did this talk and I did this workshop. Let's just like go for it. Okay. So I scrapped the whole one about from day job to dream job. And I did a really biographical talk, which actually, oh yeah. Oh, sorry guys. Yeah. And I don't anymore. I got laid off on November 6th, and it's like the best thing that ever happened to me, quite honestly. Oh yeah. It was crazy. It was crazy. And then like last summer I was like, I don't know, like I got so sick, and I was like, well, no wonder I got sick, you know, because I just can't do this anymore. Like I couldn't, and it's like my layoff came at like the perfect time, because I was like checked out. Like I was just, you know, like my goose was cooked basically. So something was going to, I don't know what was going to happen, but, yeah, totally. Christine, actually, I was like, I was pretty happy about it, actually, quite honestly. Yeah, it was the, Anne, kicking out of the nest. I've heard that. That's exactly it. And it's like, I was so there, so ready for it. So yeah. Oh, totally. It's Carol. It's like nothing, like everything. I don't want to say I'm not like an everything happens for a reason kind of person. Although I do have a funny cats at work coming up that does say everything, something like along those lines, but it's a joke. But, like, I don't 100%, like, I don't like buy into that totally. But, I do think that, you got to pay attention to mistakes and to failures. That's another, like one of my topics, like failure. But, I know failing's not failing because you're constantly learning, but, it's, wow, look at all these people that are coming in. Hey, everybody. Yeah. God, I just lost my train of thought. Cause I'm so excited that all these people are, hi, Linda, hi, Carol, Emma. Hi, Emma. How are you? So yeah, this is, just to, reiterate, this is like my first scope with my actual face here. So this is bizarre, but you guys are really helping me cause I was like, oh my God, I've committed. I put out a promo for Tuesday because I'm just doing high flux imagery. How are you? Oh, Emma, thank you so much. I totally did, like, you know, I don't walk around with like mascara on every day, but I think I might have to start doing this. So, oh, and next time you see me, my hair will be a different color because I have to dye it. I just shaved it again today. I got to change my photos because I actually have hair in my little photo, but my hair is different now. Anyway, okay, let's talk business again because I'm just like rambling right now. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You know, I had it short for forever, and then I grew it a little bit, and then I shaved it again, like December 26th. No, December 24th, I did it. It was so liberating. I was like, because, you know, I had left my job and I was like, this is great. I can have short hair again. Not that I couldn't have short hair, but you work in an office. You're somebody like me who has a whole life. Like I had a whole career outside of my day job. So part of that is like, how much can I not rankle anybody here? Like how much can I fit in, you know, I mean, obviously I don't fit in, right? But how like agreeable can I be? How much can I be smiley and not like stick out? You know, like I'm not going to walk into work with like green hair or anything. You know what I mean? Like I had enough that was different about me at work because I had this whole career on the side, not even on the side, right? The rest of my life. And it's weird. It's like, on the one hand, this is just like because who knows, maybe some of them are watching, but on the one hand, it's like, people really, they admire this, okay? They're like, that's amazing. Like, that's great. You know, on the other hand, you know, people, you don't know what people are like actually saying behind your back. Like, you know, you just don't know. I mean, you think, you know, maybe they think that you don't have the loyalty. So I feel like when you have a day job and have your whole other thing, you have to like, in some ways be more loyal. Like in some ways you have this whole other set of rules that you have to, abide by in order to maintain status quo, at your day job. It's just the way it is. And you learn like these like mental jumping jacks and stuff. You like learn how to, yeah, and I'm sure you understand it. Yeah. Yeah, it's really, and well, you worked in in a company where you did design for licensing, I think, right? I know the name of the company, but yeah, I mean, you were like even more in the company. Like my work was, yeah, punch. Yeah. So, yeah, so you were like even more in the industry. I wasn't in the industry, but it was like, oh my gosh, you know, like on the one hand, you know, look at all the stuff Kathy's doing outside. On the other hand, you know, is she like gonna quit tomorrow? Like how, you know, like, does she even care? You know, like you wonder what people, maybe this is a lot of like me projecting, but a lot of it was really like, does she, you know, I was constantly like kind of looking behind my back, like thinking, what do people think of me? Like people say, they're like, I'm surprised you don't talk more about this. Cause they're thinking you're a superstar outside of work. Cause you have like, you know, product lines and this and that, which is really like flattering and nice and great. And like, it's awesome. Like it's good for your ego on one hand, but on the other hand, it's like how do people see you differently? You know, like what are all those little like, you know, what are in the dark corners there, you know, with people's opinions of you. And like, then they're like, well, how come you don't talk more about this? It's like, well, you know, I kind of want to hide under my desk. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really want to be like waving a flag, you know, like, hey, look at my new C.R. Gibson line, you know, like that's just like not what you do, you know, and it's not what I would want to do. And, you know, it's just, I'm talking way too much about this. You go into shop and you got to have a happy face always. Yes. Yes. Thanks for inviting me, by the way, Anne. Oh, thank you, Anne. Thanks for inviting Emma. Thank you guys for being here. Okay, so I'm going to try and wrap up my story. I know I'm like totally going off the deep end, Corinne, right now. I mean, about this whole story. I have like so much to say on this topic. That's why I'm just like, but I need to rein it in and finish my story. So you guys can go have lunch or whatever. Yeah, so I did. Oh, thank you, Devin. I am too. And it's like scary too. I'm like, oh my God, you know, like, it's just like part of it. Oh, let's talk about this day job thing again. It's hello, steady paycheck. Hello, hello, health insurance. additional dental insurance, which I just found out is actually really nice to have like 2 dental insurances. Frenchelle, I will talk a lot more about this subject. I might even do some sort of something besides just periscoping on it. I know, Angela, tell you about it. And I am not exhibiting myself. And that's all the info I have right now. I don't know whether or not I will be represented there, but I personally am not exhibiting. Partly because I need to like, focus on other things. Licensing I am always focused on, but, it's so all encompassing to me. And it's like, I just need a year off, basically. It's not even, it's like, I love it. I love it. I really do. And plus, like, that's the time when you get to like be in front of your people, which is huge, right? I mean, it's different than walking Atlanta. It's like a whole other vibe. I mean, now it's like when you have a booth at Surtex, it's like, that's your show, and that's like, it's awesome. And there's nothing like it. But, I really like last year was really, really hard for me. So I just, I'm really glad I'm not doing it this year. Like I'm somewhat relieved. It's funny. And I get to put my energy into other things. Like I get to, I totally understand exhibiting at Surtex can be exhausting. Yeah. And it's like, it's great, but it's like, I need like a breather. It's like a huge commitment. I'm not even like, it's huge in every way. It's financially huge, yes, but it's huge. It's mentally huge. It's time. Like, I don't know how I'm like doing this full time right now. And I'm like, how the heck did I do that? Like with a day job, like for 4 or 5 years, like, I don't know, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's great work. It's great. You get better at it. Yeah. And you did licensing too. It does. It's so weird too. Cause, when you're working a day job and then you do your dream job at night, and on weekends, you're really, really much better with time management. I feel like, I used to be able to just like, I was like my own boot camp, like I would get home, I would eat, and then I would go to work. And it's great. I got a lot done. Yeah. I know, Emma, seriously, right? Yeah, it's hard, cause you have to like schedule stuff in like that. Like it's so nice to just have more freedom in that way. But it is true. Like what Anne said, like your time just slips away. And I feel like that's sort of movable depending on what you do. Like even without a day job now, without like a outside the house day job now, I still feel like my time it's almost like, well, where'd all that extra time go that, I used to think that was going to be there. Hey, Amy Sue. It's like, it's all relative to the time that you have. So you just got to get better, like more boot campy at yourself, like do this, do that, make a schedule. I have too many things that I want to do, which is a problem. I need to focus anyway. So yes, Corinne, you absolutely have to be obsessed. I 100% agree with that. If you're not, like, just like go watch Netflix, you know what I mean? Because like, you have to be obsessed about it, and like, your actions speak louder than words. So if you're going to do it, then you will do it. If you're not, then you won't. And that will tell you whether or not you have the drive to do it, Hi, Hicks. How are you? It just is what it is, and there's like no right or wrong. It's just, hey, if you're obsessed enough to do it, like jump in the pool and do it. If you're not, then go watch Netflix or go, take a walk or something, like you're gonna, if you want to do it bad enough, you're gonna do it. I was always like, well, there's a will, there's a way, like, I'm going to do it. Come hell or high water, excuse my language. I'm going to do it. And that's how I was before I did my first trade show. I was just like, I'm going to do this. And I'm just going to do it. and I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to I'm going to like find a way to do it, and no one's going to tell me I can't do it. And I'm just going to do it. And then I'm going to figure out after I do it, I'll figure out whether I want to continue to do it, because you can't go 10 steps ahead. You got to incremental, like, okay, now what does my landscape look like? And then next time, now what does my landscape look like? How has it changed? How have I changed? How has my goals changed? That's why it's like there's not really any failure, because every time you do something, you learn from it. And then when you learn from it, you learn more stuff about yourself and like what, marathon is a licensing. It's not only a marathon, it is a crapshoot. Okay. Cause you never know like what's going to fly and what's not going to fly. It's like we as artists in licensing, I mean, I feel like I'm more than an art. I'm like a content provider in licensing. Like I write and I write stuff. I have like brands. So that's great. And you give that, but you're still like this little tiny sliver of the picture, right? Okay. So do I ever get burned out though? I think that it's part of being obsessed and passionate. Yeah, I get overwhelmed. Like right now I have overwhelmed because I'm like, oh my God, there's so many things that I want to do. And I really need to like back up and like take a break, and figure out what the most important things are. Oh no, your youngest has a fever right now? Sorry, I'm turning my head. Do I look like a dog? Like, oh, yeah, overwhelmed. I'm about to take a class that's blowing my mind, and it hasn't started yet, but I have like my mind's already going with ideas, and it's like I really have too many things. Like I have too many things I'm thinking about. I work so hard. You work so hard, and you just never know what is going to do well. You don't. Yeah. So back to God, I'm all over the place today. Oh God, sorry guys. I should hang this up soon. See what happens. You just keep talking. What class? It's called Be True Brand You. Kimra Luna is the instructor, and it's gonna be awesome. I'm so excited about it. Look it up on Facebook. It's our fault you're all over the place. This is like one of the things I've been afraid of with Periscope. It's like I want to get out a thought. And like, because focus is a problem with me, like focus on a subject, finish the thought, like deliver that and then move on to the next subject. And like this interaction, which is awesome, is just like, oh my God. Because sometimes when I watch other people's Periscopes, I'm like, oh my God, they were just saying something really cool and they answered that person. And I didn't get to hear what they were going to say. Yeah. Right? That's like Periscope. I mean, it's awesome, but it's also like, that's like the problem with it. Okay. So I'll just finish talking about licensing, what I've experienced. And obviously, like, I love licensing. It's like my dream, but, it is interesting when you're doing it and you're like in the trenches and you, are in the whole machine. And you're like doing a line and and this is not even like anything specific. Hi Flo and Fairy Art. Yay. But it's fascinating how little like how stuff out of your control can kind of make or break you in some ways. Like something ships late and it doesn't get in the first, the first launch. And then that affects how the entire first launch does. You know what I mean? And then that's like on the books. And you're like, well, it would have been a different picture if every element had been in place. You know what I mean? And that's out of everybody's control, right? That China, that's shipping, that's like all these different things. And then, what if something doesn't sell through in Atlanta? Like, what if you worked really hard on a concept that, you guys have created your prototype and you're selling it in Atlanta and that piece doesn't go through, that's another one. Something that you're like, oh my God, this is like such an important piece in the line. And then like, it doesn't go through because nobody buys it because you don't know what people are going to buy. Salespeople, love salespeople, like, mwah. mwah, mwah, like hug them, kiss them, love them, coddle them, take care of the salespeople, because salespeople need to understand your brand. They need to understand your line. They need to understand like the point of view. They need to really get it so they can sell it. Those are the people that are like, I'm just looking for my water because my throat. Salespeople. So you want to do as much as you can to try and help them understand your concept, your brand, what you're trying to do. You know, that's really important. That's really important because they're the ones that sell it. So that's important. You want to work with your entire team. You want to work with everybody, get everybody on the same page, or everybody understanding things, so they so they can sell it, and like know who the audience is, you know. So, but that's tricky too, because I believe, and the more I study this stuff, in terms of like, who is your ideal customer, who is your ideal customer avatar, you know, it's like, you know, it's almost like you learn this as you go. It's not, you can't just, oh, I'm going to have a brainstorm and write this stuff down. You know, you can think it's one type of, or one group of people, or a few different groups of people. But what you really need to do, and what I'm trying to do, is to get in front of you and get in front of people more. What do they read? What do they read? Where do they shop? Yeah. Just like who, like for instance, who are the people who buy my mugs with the, with motivational sayings on them? You know, like, you know, you got to listen to like individual customers. Like, who are you? A lot of people buy them for their best friends, you know, lots of, you know, girls, the women mostly, right? Some guys, but mostly women, but a lot of them buy them as gifts, you know? So it's like stuff for people like me, like glass half full, you know, life isn't easy all the time. I think it's like multi-generational, like many different women from different paths of life, but everybody has a dream and they have like their goals, and so they're a lot like me. It's kind of like, I know that it's not, I feel like the most authentic brands are like that, like where, hey, carbon copy of me, you know, not exactly, but close enough, right? Like people that are similar to you, because that's what you relate to, you know, like, and that's who you draw in. That's like, yeah. So, okay. Now I'm really rambling. So I'm going to finish my original story, and then I'm going to go, and then we'll do more on Tuesday. Okay. If that's okay. Yeah, I don't want you guys to burn out on me and be like, "Oh my God, she wouldn't shut up." Okay. So I did a design conference. I did the design conference in October, and it really blew my mind. It was like so uncomfortable preparing for it because I was terrified, like absolutely shaking in my boots, terrified, wear a diaper, terrified, right? But I did it, and I'm really proud of how it went. And you got to break the seal on that stuff. Like, you got to just do it and then see, like, obviously prepare as much as possible. Then you can freak out. Then you do it without freaking out, do it. And then try and keep yourself composed. And then after, let the dust settle and figure it out. Like, is this something that is this like a natural fit for me? Is this something that I want to pursue more? So I loved it on one hand. On the other hand, it was totally terrifying. What really terrified me, but also was super, super gratifying, like hugely gratifying, but really terrifying too. Like, I almost had panic attack like twice in the classroom, was when I taught the workshop, because I didn't really know who. First of all, it was full. which is amazing. Like my workshop was the first one that sold out, which was like, oh my goodness, that's really exciting and also really terrifying, especially because I've never taught an actual class before. But it was called Scribble Stories. And it was all about hand lettering. I forget what the byline is, but I have it all written down. I have it all written down. I have like a 50-page PDF. I have like worksheets. Yeah, and I can totally like put that into e-course, which would be so awesome. Because it's really like, for me, it's all about like helping people connect with their creativity. And oftentimes it's like people who have lost it because all they do is design all day or do something else, you know, like something that maybe it's creative, but you lose it. You know, you're like, oh, well, I guess I won't mention any age right now, but, or like, when I was this age, but when I was younger and I was a young designer, part of me, and this is before I did any business, this is after I had my first business, which was a handmade greeting card company. I had that for like 5 years, and then I stopped doing it because my day job was really, I just couldn't do both. You know, I couldn't like grow it. And this is actually a little bit before like the internet really took hold. The internet was around, but this was like before all Etsy, right? Before like I could sell stuff on Etsy. But oh God, I just totally lost my train of thought. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Do you guys remember? No, I was just talking. Oh, I just really lost my train of thought. Do it. Yeah, right. Okay. So I just totally lost my train of thought. Yeah. Well, I did have one business before I did. Yeah. I had a greeting card business and I stopped doing it because my day job was so, oh yeah. Okay. So I remember now. So my day job was really like, it was like I went to school for fine art. I went to school for painting and I painted, and I didn't take design. I took like the bare minimum, right, of design classes, but that was like, I wanted to have fun in school. I knew I would be an illustrator. Like I just always felt like I would, but I didn't want to like challenge myself in that way in school, which is horrible. But it's true. So, but I did end up getting a job as a graphic designer, and I had some handover use issues. That was another thing with my card company. So I stopped doing that. I hung it up because I was like, okay, I'll go back someday. I'm going to go back and kill it and have my own business and do that. But right now I just need to like take care of myself. So I didn't. So I stopped doing it for a few years, and then when I went back, I did. I'll tell you guys all about that some other time because that's actually a really good story. But anyway, so back to. Sorry, guys. I will learn. I promise. I will get more streamlined and more focused with my periscopes. I absolutely promise. Just you guys are totally hanging with me. I love it. Thank you so much. So I did the talk. Thank you, Emma. I really appreciate it. It's nerve-wracking, right? So I did the talk, and it went well. And I did the workshop, and the workshop was for. Oh, I remember now. I was talking about how you lose like that inner fire sometimes when you're like, because you're in your day job, and you're like, well, my day job's creative, so that like makes it okay that I don't do other stuff on the side, you know? Oh, thank you so much, Maggie. I feel like that's part of what I have to offer. Like, I am so unglossy. It's like, I'm like, no, I have no sheen. There's like no pretense here. Thank you, Carol. I know, right? Anyway, so sometimes when you're a designer or in a creative field professionally, you like, you can just lose touch with. And thank you. I have a little, yeah. I mean, I appreciate it, but at arm's length because it's totally not me, you know? So, yeah, you can lose it. You can lose it. You can lose that, your inner little creative gut voice. And, I feel like I have a gift to help people to bring that back a little bit, you know? I feel like, that's part of the reason why, well, one of the things that I like to do is post my, thank you, Carol. One of the things I like to do on Maggie is post my rough sketches, because I feel like, or even just like if they're really pretty, like pencil sketches, but they're pencil, okay? Like it's like my ratty sketchbook, okay? I just feel like, Emma, you get it back. You'll get it back. You know how to do it. I see your paintings and drawings. Yeah, it's like you're in a creative field and you're working professionally and you're like, oh, this is great. It's really creative and it teaches you how to work with other people in this way, and you learn marketing and you learn all these different things, but you gotta like reconnect or like stay connected to your inner to your inner fire, and that your inner creative fire, and you know, what inspires you to just sort of like your inner muse, you know? I hate that, like the term muse is like so like, oh, Led Zeppelin, or like, you know, like gypsy, blah, blah, blah. But it's like really true. Like you really have to like stay connected to that like inner soul voice of your creative little inner soul. So I feel like I've always, not always, but I'm pretty good about, like, that's like one of my things. Okay. That's like one of the things that I think is really important. And I noticed when I did that class, and okay, so let me set the scene for you. So I did this class. I was really prepared. In fact, maybe a little over prepared. Like I had everything outlined. Like there was not a lot of room for like ad lib. And that's because I get, as you can see, I get nervous and I don't want to forget what I'm going to say. And, but teaching is more interactive, and you're like really, and I think the best part was like getting to know the students, like talking to them and finding out what their kind of thing was, and like where they were in their creative life and in their professional life, and what their goals were for the class or just for their art. And I tried to write the outline of the class so people really knew what they were getting into. Like, it's a lettering class, but it's not technical. It's not design. Like, you're not going to learn like, like you're not going to learn all the technical stuff. This is not like a design class. This is like a get in touch with your emotional, like, artist class. And this is like how we're going to, do it. So it was really, really cool. There was a lot of like design guys, like there was a lot of like hipster guy, young designers in it. And it really kind of like, I was a little intimidated, honestly, because I was like, oh my God, like, I mean, I can relate to like the ladies, you know, because like they're like more warm and stuff, but the hipster guys are kind of like in the back of the class and they're like, you know, they're like a hipster and whatnot. They're like all like, you know, cool. And yeah, and I was just like, okay, what's your name? You know, like, what do you do? And they're all designers. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like crazy. I'm teaching like a room full of hipster designers. Okay. It was killing me. Ooh, thank you, Angela. I'm glad see, I told you wouldn't be bored. I don't know about, you know, the rest of it, but I'm entertaining in some way. Yeah, in some way I am entertaining. So I was like freaked out. I was like, oh, SH word, right? I'm just going to stare at my teacher's helper, who I adore. Her name is Take the Cannoli on Instagram, and she is absolutely fabulous. And she actually has taught, she's a lovely young lady, and she has taught before, and she really talked me off the cliff. Like, she was like, all right, you might be overprepared. Oh no, she gave me like a good crit after. She's like, okay, you probably don't need to be, you were like really prepared. I didn't have a lot of room for like, you know, like, hey, let's like let's just like loosen up. You know, it was kind of like, here's our time frame. Here's our time frame. And then at the end, I almost forgot to do my giveaways. It was really cool though. And I did end up doing them. Crit you? Oh yeah. What? Like critique? Is that what you mean, Christine? Yeah, I just would walk around the class and like, I mean, I'm mostly encouraging. I'm not like, oh, you know, like, it's really all about, for me, it's like, oh, that's okay. I was like, what was that? It's about getting in touch. Like, it's all about like from here to your hand and like how your imagination and how you feel about a word or a letter or, oh, great. Yeah. I'm thinking like in reference, like now I'm like trying to backtrack and I'm like, in what context? What was I just talking about? I was talking about the class, right? Yeah. So for me, it's like about like from here, like from my thoughts, from my imagination, like what, like, and then I give them like, funnel it through this, like funnel it through this letter, like how, like, or this phrase or whatever. It's actually really interesting. It's a really cool course. It's really fun. And I like surprised myself. I was like, this is awesome. Like, I would love this class. Now I just gotta like, you know, not be so nervous in front of these people, but it actually went really well. And I had a full class and I had like a lot of like hipster dudes, a lot of like hipster, like, design dudes that I was like, oh my God. But, they were cool, you know, mostly they were cool. I mean, you know, the ones that talked, some of them didn't talk. They just like were drawing. But it was really good. I let them all look through my sketchbooks and they were like, oh, you know, it was cool for them to see my sketchbooks. And yeah, I mean, I got so much gratification from doing that class. I know, Emma, it was so weird. I was like, how is that possible? Like, I've never taught a class before. But then I thought, well, maybe they, you know, maybe like they see my work and then maybe they like read the content of the class and maybe it's like, maybe there's something to this, you know, like maybe, I know, Carol, they were like hipster dudes. I was like, oh my God, scary. Yeah, but, yeah, it was just like, maybe there's something to this. Like maybe, I need to, like, this is a good sign. So let's see how I do teaching the class. And the class was, good. I actually gave them, this is a good little tip too. I gave them like a sheet to fill out at the end of the class, to tell me how I was doing. And, you know, went from like awesome to like, you stink, you know, like, and then in between stuff. Hi, Figgy Pudding! Thanks for being here. This is my secret Periscope. It's my first one that I'm actually showing my face on. So I'm just trying to like warm up a little bit before I do my Tuesday one. Anyway, okay. How long was it? The talk I did was 45 minutes and that was in front of 350 people, hipster designers, men and women. And then the workshop was an hour and a half and I went over time a little bit. I didn't time my, yeah, right. My first time. And there was 30 people in the class and, I hadn't like done a dry run of the class. I know, Emma, I'm telling you about it. And it's funny too. It was 350 people, but it actually didn't quite feel like 300. I mean, I was still like terrified, but, it didn't even, it didn't like look like what I thought that 350 people would look like, you know? So, that was a little bit relieving, but, I think, you know, if I did it again, I think, it might be less scary. Actually, hey, maybe I should do it again now that I'm like working this all out with you guys, you know? Like you guys are like helping me here. Yeah. Yeah, maybe so. So, yeah, so been there, terrified of teenagers. Yeah, right. Well, they were like in their like late 20s and, you know, I was just like, oh my God, like, oh, this is like, cause when you're like, okay, right. You're like a pro designer and a pro, you're a pro, you're past 25, you're like between maybe 25 and 30. do you think you know everything and everything? Do you think like no one can tell you anything? That's kind of like, right? I mean, after 30, you're like, hey, wait a minute. I don't know everything in this world, right? Like before then, you're like, I know everything. Actually, for me, it was like before, well, I think I thought I knew everything up until like, yeah, maybe like mid-20s or 30. I don't know. And then I'm like, I don't know anything. like, help me. I got to learn some stuff here because the world changes. Like, you don't. Too cool for school dudes. Yeah. Okay. Usually I'm like, sit back down. Like, I can handle this. But, okay, you get like tables full of them and you're like, oh, I'm going to tiptoe around this table because like they just walked in and I'm trying to, like, you're the teacher. You're the one that's, you're running the show, right? You're like, you don't know what you don't know. Exactly. Wait. Yeah. You just made me think of something I saw recently. I think it was on Shark Tank. I think Barbara said that. And I was like, yeah. I just read her book, by the way. Barbara Corcoran's book. It was really good. That you are wonderful. And yep, you're running the show. Yeah, Emma, it's like, and everybody, it's just like, I wasn't like mentally there yet. You know what I mean? Like it was like, you're in charge. Like you're, can't think of the right word. You're getting them to do stuff, like you're the one that's, drawing a blank, but you're the one that's like, giving them stuff to do and running, like flowing through the class and this and that. And it's like, I didn't ever do that before. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, I got a lot to learn. So it's good to throw yourself in those crazy situations that you're terrified of doing. And I'll tell you, I did so much research, not research. I did so much preparation for this. I had prepared like an entire talk and scrapped it like 2 weeks before. 'Cause I was like, this is not for the right audience type of thing, or it just wasn't the right fit. So it changed, but that's good. I mean, that's like learning. And now, honestly, I have I have so much material to expound on now with this stuff. 'Cause I knew I wasn't going to scrap it. It was good. It was not right for everything that I was faced with. I don't think it was like the right fit at the time. So I'm going to use that material, but I'm going to use it in a different way. So anyway, all right, I'm going to wrap this up. After this, you'll be a master, I'm sure. Emma, it's like, all you guys, it's like, really? 3,000 hertz? Wow. Ooh, I feel so loved. It's like, you got to do stuff that scares you, right? You have to. You don't grow any other way. Like, you're not going to find out. It's like, I just wrote a book that I'm giving away for, if you sign up for my email list. And thank you, Franchelle. Thank you so much. They're totally my heart. Like, I love to just like give a little bit of like, let me inspire you while you drink your coffee, or tell you to get your butt to the gym, or do something else. Oh my God, Maggie, thank you so much. This is my first face-to-face scope. Yes, I have been like really trying to gear myself up to get in front of you guys, because I really want to like get to know you. And I've been terrified to do this. Like, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm scared. I have done scopes before. I did 3, and they were all just me drawing in my sketchbook. It was just like my hand and my sketch, like, and I would write like, what would you like me to draw? You know what I mean? Like, I would like write it, like, what would you like me to draw? And then people would say like birds or this or that. And I'm just like, okay, I'll draw that. And then a couple times you get like these like skanky people who are like, draw this. And then they tell you something dirty and you're like, you jerk, get out of here. And then you block them. But, you're going to find that everywhere. So, thank you, Figgy Pudding. I will, I promise. I feel like a little more like, okay, I think I can do this. So, yeah. So yeah. So you will see that content. Oh, what I was saying about yeah, you'll see the content in both my talk, which is awesome content. Like, I blew my own mind that I could write this stuff down about like the day job to dream job stuff, because I'm like, this is awesome. Like, I gotta do something with this. But I put it away because I felt like maybe for my first talk, I don't think it was the right avenue for that intense and specific subject matter. It was like, oh, Emma, thank you. Okay. The book. I just wrote a book. It's like it's like an ebook, and it's free if you sign up for my email list, but it's called Motivational Mantras. And I guess what I was saying was, about 5 minutes ago, we were talking about, a specific quote or something. And, in this book, what I do, it's 6 tips for supercharged good vibes. And it's basically, it's like, oh, yay. Oh, yeah. So you probably got it, Emma. It's like tips for life. It's like life tips and a little bit of a like realistic and, my own tone, which is like, it's kind of like no BS, you know what I mean? Like, but it's still positive and nice. Like, I'm not like I swear off camera. Hi, Elizabeth. You won't see me swearing on camera because that's not part of like this. There's enough like of that like out. Like I don't need to be putting like that word on my mug or doing that. There's other words I can use. I'm fine. I'm a truck driver offline, but that's not gonna. Like I don't need to do that. Potty mouth in Spanish, nice. I bet it sounds beautiful though, I just can't, like, it's so pretty. That's cause like, I have like, I have, the, boring speech. Not as beautiful as Spanish or Japanese or any number of other lovely speeches. Anyway, okay. All right, guys, I'm gonna hang it up now because I gotta find my water, and I'll talk to you Tuesday. Hopefully you'll be here. I'm gonna Periscope at 2 p.m. Eastern, and really I'm really keeping a list of subject matter to talk about. Oh my gosh, you're so welcome. Mwah. Emma and everybody else too. But yeah, nice meeting you too, Carol. So if you come back on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, I'll be scoping again, and I have a post up on Instagram that says like ask me questions or something. So just feel free to pop a question in there, or an idea or whatever. Really, I'll talk about just about anything. I'm looking for like what you guys want to know, like what you're interested in hearing from me talk about. I've talked about a lot of stuff today. God, if I've been on here for like 2 hours or something, this is crazy. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll do more, Maggie, too. I'll do more. But yeah, I mean, it'll be up for 24 hours. I don't know. Do you guys know anything about the way you can save these for process and business? Those are 2 big topics. Yeah, I think I have those written down. Like, yeah. Good one. For sure. That's all a part of it, right? So there's some like, yeah, Ann knows. I know she talked about it on one of hers that, I forget the name of it. But there's some way you can do it. I'll match. Oh, is that it? It's over? Did they catch me? Catch? All right, I'll look it up. I'll look it up and see what I can do. Because, if you go through like doing all this and then you actually like one of your scopes, you're like, I don't want to throw this away. I don't want this to disappear. Poof. Yeah, so I'm going to go now. Thank you guys so much for coming. It's meant everything to me. And you really have like warmed the cockles of my heart, honestly. Because I was like, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to talk about here. Lily Rogers always scopes Tuesday around 2:30. Okay. All right. Well, I already kind of put out the Periscope is changing your words. I already put it out there that I'm doing it at 2, so maybe next time I'll have to change it. So I'll change the time for next time, but this time it's going to be, I guess, nobody will show up to him, but that's okay. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be better, right? Everybody's watching Lola. They're not going to be watching me. I'll just be like, okay, this is good. All right, bye guys. I'll talk to you later. Mwah. Take it easy. See you next time. Ooh, how do I get out of here? Okay. All right, I'm stopping. Bye-bye.